Well, guys, thanks for coming by for our weekly post-maintenance podcast. The game is now down, so if you didn't get your Guild Wars done, you're boned.
It's okay. ATK will forgive you. He said he'll forgive everybody who skips Guild Wars.
Right. What a wild 48 hours, right, guys?
Yeah.
What a wild 48 hours. We had intern Kuhn push the patch live, at least half of the patch live, so we were able to sneak peek some of the things that were kind of supposed to be surprises. The insane shoe EE, which I still think should have been Operator Sigrid's, but wow. And then going into maintenance for 45 hours and people not being able to get into the game. And then we wake up this morning to FCC's buffs being canceled. So been a bit of a roller coaster, right?
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. Yeah,
pretty accurate.
See, normally I like roller coasters, but not these kind of roller coasters.
I like them too, but sometimes they make you want to throw up.
I'm kind of curious, like, I know some of you guys in your community were the ones that actually were testing with, like, the buffed FCC and stuff. Like, did they, like, say, like, how it felt and stuff like that in terms of damage and stuff, or not really?
No, so Anya didn't have Fallen Cecilia, but we could see the imprints and stuff, but, like, we got to try Rylet, and it's 100% CR push with Para, bro. You just get to take 2 turns. Seems good.
We need to get Anyo in the creator program. He's the first content creator that I know of that's been able to beta test a unit before it went live.
That's true, yeah.
Good take.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why I'm wearing a hat? Because I think they're very comfortable and everybody will be wearing them in the future. If you don't like this hat, though, I mean, I can...
Yeah, Tristen, if you want to throw up, by the way, your screen share so that way we can follow along easier. Yo, the legendary helmet.
I'll fucking whip it out. Hold on.
Dude,
I won't be able to hear you guys.
My man's like,
let's see.
This is like his transformation state, bro. It's like he goes like, it's like Power Rangers or like Kamen Rider, bro. It's just like it's the transformation. It's the Moomin Rider.
The Moomin Rider, yes sir.
It's the 3rd best hat. Doesn't beat the tinfoil hat. Hats are important. And there's me, who doesn't look good in hats, or helmets, so I just don't wear them. Sorry, chat. Maybe one day.
It's the bike guy off One Punch Man.
It's Moomin Rider.
Yeah.
Do you have a Viking hat? What? I'd like just turn on the stream because you don't have your screen share on.
Fucking around with my hats, I bumped my microphone. Okay, I'll tell you, let me give me just a second to turn the screen share on. I'm gonna have to remove all the cameras because it's see, it just replaced Vic. Let me see.
It's like the funny hat stream. Like I think it might be over here, like in the closet. I'll go check in a second for chat. There's my friend got me one year, like it's meant to be like a hat you wear outside, like a winter hat, but it's Piccolo from Dragon Ball. Like it's like the turban that he has on, but it also has the Namekian ears. It's like such a ridiculous hat. Otherwise, like I'm not normally like a hat person.
You got a head full of hair, man. You don't need to wear a hat, man.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, there we go. And now you guys should have access to my stream, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so that way you can read chat in real time.
Wow. Real time. Oops, sorry about that.
You broke it.
It's fixed. So yeah, let's just start from the top and jump right in and talk about the is this any different? This is a whole 1 minute long. Will you accept Tori's heart?
I wish they had trimmed 2 seconds off of it, because it would have been the first time ever that it was actually 60 seconds. Like the 60-second update, 1 minute update was exactly 1 minute.
It's never a minute though. It's always a little bit over.
Yeah, but I just once. See, like that's the sign of the end times, right? If Smoggy ever makes it actually exactly 1 minute, that's it. We're done. EOS, like we've peaked. It's not getting any better.
All right.
Oh, Yui, no problem.
Sure. I hope they like it. See? I told you.
Yeah, people, even with the new voice line, people do not like Melissa's delivery, I think, on Tori.
Sweet chocolate scandal. Scandalous. So that's right after maintenance and sweet 7-day check-in event. This is one where we get like a shit ton of summons, right? Yeah, 10 summons a day for 10 additional, so 11 full summons a day. I think where most people first noticed FCC was missing and the turbo speed rat.
Yeah, there's a second. I'm gonna pause you in a second after these banners.
Yeah, we'll go back here once we get through this.
This one right here, right there. So you can pause it there because this was brought to my attention, like on Tori. If you want to back it up for a second, the dates on all this stuff. Look at the dates on Tori. She's available for a month, but you'll see it's only for 2 months from when you first log in, right? So February.
Well, it says for 2 weeks.
Starting from the first login,
right?
Yeah.
You can log in anytime in this window, and then your 2-week timer starts, right?
Yeah.
So even though she's limited, people that start the game, like I don't know, next month, will still have people that start like next week, start the game next week, will still have 2 weeks to pull. Or is that how I'm reading it? This is the first time I think we've ever seen a banner run like this, where they gave a full ass range, a 2-week window that could be anywhere in this range. Joe's saying no, they've done this. They did it for Frida.
I don't think that's true, but I think this is actually the first time they did this. But like I said, this is
yeah,
it's one of those things where it's like if you for some reason are watching this podcast and you're like I'm currently unable to play the game for like a week, you'll still have the full 2 weeks.
You know what? And Clayben's saying they did it like this with Senya too. I mean, maybe we just didn't notice it because we log in every single day and it felt like 2 weeks. But maybe this is yeah. Everyone in chat saying this isn't new. That having a 4-week long window where you can activate your 2-week banner by logging in anytime in that window is kind of a new thing for them to do. For limiteds.
Yeah, so then they guess they did it for Senya. So
Hi-Fi saying he can confirm that's the way it was for Senya.
Yeah, it's just something I wanted to point out because like it's not just like, oh, it's only available for this time. It's like this whole window, which that honestly or regrettably says to me that if you were hoping for a Laya rerun, it ain't coming until March at the earliest at this point.
This girl really is just wearing ribbons and sleeves, isn't she?
Yeah,
this is
she's wearing stockings and foot warmers. She's literally just a bunch of accessories to disguise the fact that she is
a bunch of accessories.
Like that, I looked at the character design. Like, no disrespect to whoever designed the character, but she's honestly like someone's like thinly disguised fetish, and they're like, well, we can't get away with that in a 15+ game. Well, quick, throw some sleeves and leg warmers on her, and call it a day.
I mean, you know. Fenny wasn't a thinly disguised fetish, now was she?
Oh no.
So what do you think of this unit, Vic? Is this unit going to be usable, busted, annoying, or just kind of a passing fancy that might be more PvE related than PvP? Because I've heard some people going back and forth on her.
Honestly, I feel like she'll be good, but one of the issues is right now it's like a lot of speculation. Like we don't really know how much damage she's gonna do. You know, we gotta like see her multipliers and figure out how to build her. Like on paper, we kind of know like probably you want to build her on Destro, right? Just because he's kind of one of those like heavy nuking kind of units. And immunity seems pretty good too, just because of how her passive is gonna be. And I'm gonna just post a link in the VC chat here, like in the actual Wulf channel. And I kind of just put up like a mock draft too. Just so that you can kind of like let the people see too, because I think a lot of people are thinking, you know, is Tori gonna be able to do enough damage to say kill a Schneel, or something like that, where you are having like DDR on your side kind of thing,
right?
And yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. You know, when the patch and everything is live, when she's in the damage calculator and we play with her, I think she could be useful, but if she can't kill Schneel, then I don't know, man. If she can't kill Schneel, then she seems kind of like a dud.
Yeah.
My thought was that you would play her similar to how Tempest Cern was back in the day, because if you have Tempest Cern on like some kind of damage artifact that is on lifesteal with that passive is very obnoxious to kill her. So like you build the whole, like you remember, I assume, from like way back in the day, Vic, like Fallen Cecilia plus Tori, or not Tori, but like, you know, Tempest Urn, like that was just such an obnoxious team to deal with, because you just literally could never get her under 50%. So that was my first thought on how to build her. Like if you're not gonna go Destro to try to pop something, then maybe there's something there as like a cockroach unit that's just, it's very difficult to kill.
Speaking of cockroach units, do you think the fear about what this unit will be like combined with units like Abigail and especially Shooting Star Arcades, you think that's well founded, or you think that's just like much ado about nothing in a modern meta of ignore ER strips and ban protections and things like that?
Well, I mean, you have someone like Veronica, right, to kind of address stuff like that. So I don't know if it'll be too big a concern. I mean, you'll probably run into some people that are just going to rope you, like maybe at the end of the season, or maybe just have some fun in Guild War. But I mean, that happens, right? I mean, when Elvira came out, that happened.
Right.
And when they didn't change Prophetic Candlestick and stuff, like that happened before, right? So I think it might be temporary, maybe just brief, but nothing crazy, hopefully.
You know, Veronica's an interesting point. One of the questions I've been asked is, how's Veronica going to behave with a undispellable immortality, right? Because Veronica gets a 50% CR push whenever somebody's turn ends, dispelling immortality. But if her immortality can't be dispelled, does that mean every single time a unit takes a turn, Veronica's gonna get a 50 CR push? Are we gonna see like zooming Veronica shooting up and down the board because she can't get rid of this buff? There's a lot of unknowns about this character. I'm also very curious how barrier inversion is going to work. Yeah. Can you invert a permanent barrier, or will it not work at all? So it's a lot of questions about this unit. And I think anybody saying, is this strong, is this a must pull, really needs to wait for people to test it out and see how she behaves, because there's so many unknowns.
Yeah,
I've never had anything like it.
Yeah, it's kind of uncharted waters with some things. Like the barrier inversion is actually the biggest question that I have. Like, I'm glad that Pooty asked that in the chat.
For me, it's Veronica zooming. I'm very curious about that. That's right. We look at Ronnie's kit. What's it say?
Yeah.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Nah, I'm fine. I didn't go out.
Don't lie to me.
Increases comp. Yeah. Start of the turn dispels immortality from all enemies, but it's undispellable. At the end of someone's turn, when the enemy has an immortality, 50%. I mean, that specifically right there says every single turn, when somebody's turn ends.
Yeah, you'll just
your team, their team. It doesn't matter. It's just, she's gonna be zooming according to this. So I'm very curious about her interaction. Because if so, that'll make her one of the best counters to Tori, because she'll go so fast, she'll just obliterate the entire team, and then it's 1v4 Tori versus the world.
Yeah. My worry is more, like I said, with the barrier inversion, because to me, I don't really think that Desert Jewel Basara is going to be good. Like, even if it has the interaction that people are thinking it is, I still don't think that's enough to save him. I still don't think he's playable. Right? I honestly think Ning Ning is more playable than DJB is, and I don't think she's playable either.
Yeah. Which, that's the solution, right? If somebody like tries to ban protect Shooting Star Arcades, then Veronica's the natural pick. It's like, yeah, go ahead and put immortality on there. See how that works out for you with Veronica locked in 3. You'd never be able to push that button. It would be a death sentence. So yeah, a lot of neat interactions, and I'm really looking forward to Tori.
Evan said that's Cope. Ning Ning sucks. That's not true. I didn't say she did. I'm just saying they are both pretty terrible units.
They're pretty bad.
Yeah. So we got a new side story, a month-long side story. So, wow.
Yeah,
that's long. That's long for a side story.
That means it's probably like a 3-parter, like how some of these other events have been in the past, where it's like
3-parter. It almost needs to be a 4-parter at that point.
The cook-off, like, the one where it's like with like slime, like the collab ones, how they're like 3 weeks. That says to me that this is like treated like it's a collab. Like it's like a super mega long side story.
A 4-week long story and a potential 4-week long window to do her banner in. Don't you feel like that makes it kind of unlikely we're going to see a Alaya banner in the near future?
I mean, hey, what if they drop the Alaya banner after 2 weeks and they got both limiteds running? Like, never say never,
Yeah, like that's
Very
probably
true.
like possible, but as I was saying before, I feel the same way. Like it's probably not happened until March.
We're also giga
listen.
overdue for a custom group summon too. It's a lot to shoehorn into a small window.
I mean, if they're gonna milk us, like throw in the Hooche, the custom group
Just
summon,
do it
the
all.
Laya, just throw everything, man. Like,
Yeah,
we're already this
Here
deep.
you go. We
the
go 2
custom group-
weeks. We go 2 weeks into this. They drop a custom group summon, because that way Laya can't be picked on the custom group summon. And then once the custom group summon, we get a little bit through that. Then they drop the Laya banner, and once we're a little bit into the Laya banner, they drop the Hoochie and start teasing a collab. People's wallets will literally catch fire.
No, Tristan, that's too small, bro. Like the big galaxy brain move is to move the custom group summon to the start of April, which is the next balance adjustment patch. Put a bunch of limited unit, like older limited units on it, like Greenlandian one, to get people to want to spend on that, because your collab is literally right after that.
Don't forget
that's the galaxy brain move. That's the big brain marketing move.
We still feeling confident it's a collab in April?
I still am. I mean, the language they used is a little bit up in the air, but like like saying that there are new faces coming to Orbis in April is like, what else is it going to be? What else?
New friends from a new world.
Yeah.
Now maybe it's reading too much into it, but all the other collabs, people are telling me all the other collabs have said friends from another world. They've always used another world as the phrasing, not a new world. And I've had some people say, hey, you know what? We got chapter 6 coming up. What if they take us to a new world? We're out of continents. What if we go to the ML worlds? Maybe a Tori is starting to show us that RGB units are going to start coming from the Moonlight worlds, and chapter 6 is going to take us to the new worlds, and the new heroes we're going to meet are just RGB heroes from new worlds.
Counterpoint, we live in 2025 where we just use AI to translate things loosely.
That was literally what I was gonna say.
I'll be honest with you. I'm full of shit. I don't believe that either. I just want to play devil's advocate for a second. If it's not a collab in April, if the friends from a new world just turn out to be like a, hey guys, here is ML Brenus. She's from a new world.
Dude, you know what? That would be so funny if
everything would, people would riot. People would. Well, oh man, if ML Brenus came out before Brenus, that would be freaking fire. Oh my god.
Dude, I'm on the bandwagon. I've said it multiple times at this point. I'm on the bandwagon of that Brenus, like, right? You never release that unit. It's the last unit you release before the game EOS's, and you make it the most busted unit ever. Like, just keep it a running gag for as long as possible. Don't even update her assets. Leave her with the same assets from, like, episode 2 and 3. Same sprite, dated looking animations and all.
Question for you guys, because I literally didn't pay attention, but is Tori an RGB unit from the Runway Fighter universe, or did she get, like, isekai'd into the Runway Fighter universe temporarily?
I don't even know, because she works at a convenience store. That's literally how every isekai works. Like, you start at a convenience store, you die.
People are saying she's from there. She's from there. I mean, did it say that somewhere?
Yeah.
Ironically, from there. Okay, people are saying she's from there.
I can't.
She's okay. They're saying, how is she I guess.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
She could be though. She could be though.
How is she Armin's cousin? They don't even look like they're the same.
Your parents and your cousin's parents are different people. Cousins are grandparent related. Your cousin's mom and dad could be totally different people than your mom and dad. That's how family trees work. So yeah, just your mom's brother or sister got busy with a Suin, and Armin popped out basically. Mm-hmm. But it definitely means that either Tori or Armin is at least part Suin somewhere in the genealogy. No. It could be all human, but it would mean that Armin is part human at least. Shit, you know what? Hamsloth's right. Adoption is always a thing.
Surely
I just gotta say, Hamslot's a freaking goat, man. His content's goated.
His content's very good, yeah. The other thing that makes no sense is, like, she's like, they're related. I don't know, man. Maybe I help my cousins out. I was gonna say, Backhat Armin is like filthy rich. Tori is like, yo, we're poor, struggling at this convenience store. Help the girl out financially, okay? That's all I'm saying.
I was gonna say pause when you started with the help your cousin out, you know?
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, if
We know-
one of
we
my
heard what
cousins
you were
falls
saying.
on hard, yeah,
Falls on what? Falls on what?
Shit, if you're gonna-
What?
If you're gonna
Say
run
it again.
I mean,
on
Falls
hard
on what?
times, fight it. Fuck you, man.
Oh my god. 7-day check-in, lots of cuff summons. Is there anything on this balance patch to be excited for? I think Uber's Tooth is the most overhyped thing ever because nobody on this planet is taking that off of Amiki, especially when Amiki looks like the best solution to Tori right out of the gate. I've heard some people say Ubers can be used on Wukong, that it can be used on, who was the other one? On Holiday Euphine, for all of the nuns of places those units are used, but, I don't know, man. Ubers is a semi-limited artifact, right? It's not tied to any banners, so it's not easy to get. So, I mean, I've got 2 of them, but the second one's only plus 24. Not a lot of people have 2 plus 30s of this thing, so I don't know if it's...
You have a 24 one? My only one that I own is like plus 21. What the hell?
That's cry,
I
dude.
think I do. Let me look.
Honestly, I think in this patch though, I think the DN with crit resistance is pretty pog. I think like
I agree with that.
having her cleansing be added to her S3 with the attack buff is pretty interesting because it's almost kind of like making her into kind of like an aggro cleanser, which I think could be pretty useful on say something like a Soul Constellation. And I mean, just having her there with crit resistance, I mean, it's just gonna be really annoying to deal with for sure.
DN we're talking about here?
Yeah.
I think DN's actually... I think DN might be pretty impactful. The rotating of her buffs give her really good synergy with Tori too.
Brother, why are we on crit set DN?
You not like, because, dude, it is very, very obvious that her S1 is designed to do damage. She's got 20% damage in this Molagora. So obviously you want her on crit set to be able to one-shot things after you've worn them down with the rest of your team. Telling you, man, when you don't finish off that Ilanov because your DN didn't crit, you're gonna be like, damn, you know, Tristen was right.
I also think that like other than DN, I think a lot of people are thinking this patch is kind of a dud because FCC is not getting buffed anymore. But I feel like Crow is potentially going to be one of the better mitigation knights now, since he can hold adamant shields and he has the S3 timer to say kill something like a Huayang, right? For example. One obvious problem is he's still going to lose in matchups including DDR and stuff. Right. But outside of those matchups, I think he's going to be a really, really good knight, kind of up there with like the likes of like Albedo and Aureus kind of thing. Yeah. For sure.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I really think Crow might be the first step at trying to make people not feel bad about missing collabs. He is not going to be as strong of a mitigator as Albedo, but he's going to bring, you know, some additional tools to it. I'm looking forward to seeing if he's going to be impactful.
I think he's going to be pretty good, man. Like, you guys forget like how good like Escort plus Adamant Shield combo is. He's
supposed to be the strongest non-human... I'm sorry, the strongest heir, right? He's supposed to be like the... Of all of the main characters of Chapter 1, other than Ross, he's supposed to be the strongest, right?
Yeah, I actually think he's the main character of Episode 6. If you were throwing out crackpot theories, I actually think he's the main character of Episode 6.
And he's Aether's dad. I'm pretty sure that got disproved, didn't it? Or did it?
I don't think so. But
I think Valari had a message saying, did they talk about the new community managers, since there's a lot of concern about us not getting new ones? I have a question for you guys. Yep. Would you guys take the over or the under that the new CMs are just Chat GPT?
Yikes.
I'm going to pull this up here real quick. Give me a second. I'm going to mess up the cameras here. If you go over to the official Discord and you check out the high command room, there is a message. Yeah,
this was actually sent to me by a viewer earlier, and there's also something I'll add on to this in a second.
Wait, was it high command? High command's where it was, right? No.
You can see them. They should
community announcements, I think.
I think it's community announcements.
Community announcements.
Yeah. Just look for the Eaton avatar as soon as.
Yeah, there we go. Hello, heirs. I am Orbitos, one of the new community managers for Epic 7 Discord, and alongside me is CM Newt. We are really excited to meet all of you, but first I want to express my deepest respect and gratitude for the previous community managers who've helped build the foundation of this incredible community, continue their legacy, and best maintain the warm, lively community that we've worked so passionately to create. Most importantly, we are here to listen and ensure the community continues to be fun and comfortable for everyone. Please don't hesitate to share anything you like. And I like this combo of emotes right up here. Discord's great.
Yeah.
So
also Tristen, also to point it out because it was sent to me by a viewer. Are you in the Chaos Zero Nightmare Discord?
I am not in the Chaos Zero Nightmare Discord, but I can tell you that Orbitos and Newt are the Chaos Zero Nightmare CMs. And
So
the
they
general
just-
thought
yeah.
is that they are the CZN. When CZN goes live, they're the CMs for that, and that Epic 7's kind of a side hustle for them. But I've not met or talked to either of them yet.
Yeah.
I did talk to Arusel, and Arusel confirmed they are real. They are real people. I'm pretty sure they're based out of Korea. Just like GM says. They've not joined the influencer Discord yet. Haven't communicated with any of the content creators that I'm aware of yet. At least they've not talked to me. Hopefully that changes. It's a transition period. There's a lot to do. They're still setting things up. We can't expect it to be changed overnight. But hopefully they are able to bring some customer service back to the game, because it felt really bad this week not being able to get across to Smilegate that the whole game was in a state.
Tell me about it. You didn't see me and Kukerbat running around like chickens with our heads cut off going, somebody!
Anyone here? 45-hour maintenance. So, that's the whole thing. What about Rylet? You think our Lord and Savior Rylet's going to be anything more than just a unit who still dies when he gets hit?
I think he still sucks, honestly.
Yeah.
I think he's a scam unit.
Listen, like the damage increase was needed since everything's getting so tanky, but the fact that he still has such bad survivability, and like, why not just give him 100% evasion? You know, I feel like every evasion unit now, like at this state of the game, should just have 100% evasion like Flan, because if they don't, like the evasion units just cannot function, you know? So also I had an idea, like why didn't they just reduce his focus from like 0 out of 5 to 0 out of 3? You know, let's see him proc more, you know? Let's go.
Chat's killing me, bro. Give 100% evasion, still dies instantly, clueless.
90% evasion still gets hit.
I saw that and it just broke me.
I think I'm probably one of the only people, well, me and Professor Loki, I think we're probably the only two people that are like stoked about the Ludwig buffs, because it lets us Ludwig cleave when bystander Hwa-Young's on the team. And that's really it. Him getting the CR push, whether or not he stuns, that lets us take him into a few other applications. But really, nobody uses Green Ludwig outside of Banner Arena. And Lilius, I've heard back and forth on Lilius. I've heard people say she's going to be stupid busted now, and I've heard other people say it's a hard nerf for her usage in PvE. What do you think on that one?
This is one of those ones where I think I have to test it, because like based on how it works, like the new S2, she's either like really good or she's just terrible. Like I can't actually put my finger on the Lilius one. That's a hard one for me to actually put my finger on. I think it's probably like 60% worse, 40% chance is better.
Okay, well, with Sue's 60% chance of rain tomorrow prediction, what do you think, Vic?
I think PvE wise, like Lilius is ruined. Like her kit for PvE is just so much worse. I think from a PvP standpoint, I think it's like not bad. Like cleansing all debuffs is never a bad thing if they kind of overload you. But if, for example, like some nightmare teams like that, even like for me that I was running, like I was having a chat with my chat saying how like, oh, like because of the changes, like she's not really gonna function that well against Vera anymore, right? Yeah. So really honestly a really small change, like PvE, like there's really simple replacements for her, but in terms of PvE, I think she's kind of affected, but PvP probably a little bit better.
Yeah, for real, Vera's giving you problems. Dump Lilius and put Flan on the team. Flan just melts Vera.
Yep.
Why do you think I brought it up, man? I need to do
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like,
And, Wings is, it's definitely going to be better, but I don't think it's going to change its usage. And I think the Ross buff is the biggest gift they've ever given to early and mid-game players who are like, I would have won this Abyss floor, but he got the 60% defense break. 85 is still bad, but getting 15% is not as horrific as getting 40%ed. So I think that's a nice buff.
I think Roz might have legs, dude, because like they changed the way his shield. Yeah, I think the way his shield, the way they changed it is pretty good. Like I feel like you have to have a dedicated comp, like how Light was playing a couple seasons back, like Lilius Landy every game. I think you have to have like a dedicated, like maybe it's like Roz Tori, it's like a 1-2 man, like you have to have it. But the change to the barrier with Tori just sounds like, man, if that unit's like even remotely good, that's gonna be really obnoxious to play against, right?
I
think the ARES barrier is just more reliable now, right? Like just right below you 50, like you're gonna be able to get that shield, whereas before it's like you tank too much damage, then it's like kind of conditional, right? But now it's kind of like if they just take any AoE, they're getting a barrier, which I think is much more practical.
Huge. The barrier's huge, by the way. It's like 12, 13k. It's massive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys, Whitebrace brought this up. How do they put out such a banger of a balance patch? I assume he's referring to the Mort one, and then drop the ball twice in a row after that. One step forward, 2 steps back. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but it always seems to be a pattern with Smilegate where they do a major throw the rock in the pool, insane balance patch, and then they dial it back and be a little bit more reserved for a couple of balance patches before they go major again, kind of giving us time to acclimate to the insanity of a balance patch. I don't know if that's just coincidence or if there's rhyme or reason to it. What's your take on it?
My take is the same thing I said to Genozad a year and something ago. Balance is hard.
Yep.
It's not that simple. Like I was saying on my stream before I raided into you, if you took Almage and Light and Vic and 9 of the best other players in the world, like Korean Jesus, whatever you want, like pick your squad, right? Choose your squad, right? And I say, cool, you guys have free reign to do whatever you want to Epic 7 to balance the game. I'll give you a week, but I'll give you a week to do it, but on the other side of it, it's got to be like a perfectly balanced game, but like no BS. The player base can't complain, none of that, right?
Yeah.
I bet you that like as much as like I have confidence in Vic, Elv, right? You're not going to be able to do it. It's not that simple, right? So for as much, go ahead.
I think balance is hard, but I think something that I saw on, I think it was Stove, was that they should introduce like in-game surveys where you can get like a leaf or two, where players can give their feedback about a unit release or a balance patch or a buff or a change or whatever, right? Specifically in that that period, right? And I think that would be pretty helpful to get a more unbiased outlook in terms of, because honestly, even if you take the top, 20 players of all time and give them a beta test server, like it's not going to come out right, just how you said. Right, so I think having an unbiased opinion to kind of like cover all bases, and you can see the kind of responses you're getting from players, and what rank they are in the game, or what level they are, what ranks in arena they are, and stuff like that. Right, I think could be more reliable, but I don't know. I feel like it's a hard one to juggle though.
Yeah, I think that they should absolutely do it in game. You're right, because like they do. Ever since the Overlord collab, in case you guys don't know, on Stove, they do these character surveys where they poll players to see how they feel about a unit, right? But it's only after the unit has like gone away, basically, which is like super confusing. If they just did that and put it in game while the unit is like previewed or like as it's going live, that would go like such a long way. To do it in game, and like actually before we're like, all right, yeah, that one's gone, it's already in the rear view mirror, like move on to the next one.
Okay, to address a couple of comments here, Chat GPT can create surveys. Yeah, you know what, I before about 2.5 hours ago, I sent up to the CM that we've got access to, and I said, you know what, how about every balance patch is accompanied by a survey, right? this buff is too strong, it goes too far, and is bad for the game. This buff is bad and does nothing for the game, and it's not good enough. This buff is good, but it could be a little better, or this buff is great, and I'm excited for it. Just to kind of glean some opinion, because right now, people only post when they're not happy, right? It's like staying in a hotel, right? If you have a bad experience, you fill out the complaint card and you bitch. But if you just have an okay experience, it was a nice hotel stay, you got no real complaints, you don't say shit. You don't even give them a Yelp review, you just move on. So when Smilegate goes and listens to feedback, all they hear is people bitching. And it's demoralizing for them. And when enough people are bitching, they change things, and then suddenly the posts roll in. The posts roll in are all like, I will never forgive you for rolling this buff back. How dare you change Fallen Cecilia? How dare you not let these buffs go through? And I'm like, what'd you think was going to happen if almost everybody said these buffs weren't that good? Are you mad because they listened to the community, or are you mad because they didn't read your mind? Do you want them to listen and take feedback into account? Now, it'd be nice if we knew where they're getting this feedback from, and that is a question we've asked, is like, where, when you say, what was the exact wording? After carefully reviewing each and every one of the feedbacks. Reviewing from where? From Discord, from Twitter, from Stove, from Facebook? What feedbacks? So we'd like to know where this is, and that's a question we just straight up asked. Like, where is this feedback that Smilegate is reading each and every one of, so that we can let the community know, if you want to be a part of the feedback process, this is where you need to say things, right? And don't bother posting on Reddit. They never look at that, or always post on Twitter. That's where they're getting their stuff. I mean, the general consensus is they only listen to Stove, but we don't even know what Stove. Are they only listening to the Korean Stove? Are they looking at all of the Stove posts?
Yeah, this is the one that when I saw this morning, I was kind of pretty angry. I was like, this just feels like either you translated this with some kind of like AI, or
yeah, well,
it just feels so tone deaf. Like it's either an AI thing, or you're just like lying to my face. Like, which is it? It's not good. It's not a good look.
Well, we're trying to get some more info on that, especially in the transition time. It's a little tough getting answers like this, but we're trying, and when we find out, we'll let you guys know, and we'll let you guys know how to let your voices be known. But I can almost guarantee you, everybody that is on the Stove right now bitching about these changes didn't say anything about being satisfied with these changes and hyped and excited for it previously. So yeah, and I'm not saying that everybody should have to go on and say, I love these changes, don't fuck with it, every time they make a good change. You'd like a little bit of self-actualization, self-awareness that maybe we should let this test out before we change it. But that's where a survey would come in handy. People don't like punching in surveys, but they're fine with checking a box, and that would at least give them a brief brush over the community sentiment on it.
But I think like even without a survey, right? Like we have the World Arena infographics every season, and I think there's two things, right? Number one is like if they do just go forward with the release of the FCC buff, and they're tracking the infographic for the next week after she got released. Like I cannot believe that they maybe are unable to pull the infographic to see how she's performing. What if she's performing at like an 85% win rate in the first week, right? Because it's so strong for aggro and it's so oppressive. It's an anchor, blah, 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 right? Yeah. We all have our opinions on it, right? It would have helped my playstyle a shit ton. Yep. But at the same time, it's like, okay, if it's at an 85% win rate, like something's got to change, obviously. Then you can go in and change it then, right? I don't think kind of changing it last second, like before, like within 24 hours, literally. If it was like a week or like 2 weeks, like, okay, sure. But like 24 hours is a little bit much,
Yeah. And maybe I'm reading between the lines a little too much on this one, guys, but my gut reaction is this isn't like the Pirate Flan situation, where it appeared like they were reacting to a general consensus that the buffs were bad, so that they pulled them to rework them. And that's just an assumption. We don't know where they're getting their feedback from. We're all assuming it's the silver players who said this is a terrible buff, but we don't really know where they got that feedback from until they tell us where they're getting the feedback from. In this situation, after looking at the comments, at least on the English Stove site, the number one comment on the balance patch was, here, let me pull it up.
I'm just gonna say though, like, if this FCC buff went live though, like, aggro players and like Cleave would totally reign supreme. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
like, at least for a little bit, like, for sure.
I'm not in any way saying the buffs were bad. It's just, you know, we get this. That's the FCC buff. She's been bad for so long, and that's all you're giving her compared to what you did with Blood Moon Haste and Mort. And then a picture of Epic 7's team. It's the number one comment. And
yeah,
if you just come up here and you search for the word balance, right? Search for the word balance as a keyword, and there's a what do you guys think about the FCC buff, right? And it's just an ocean of comments that are I definitely agree. I get why people are upset because FCC is so loved, and buffing her from useless to niche isn't what they wanted. They're not saying that she isn't going to be good. They're not saying that the buffs are bad or that the buffs are too good. They're just saying it's not what we wanted for FCC. That she is a icon of the game. Like if I said, give me like the top 10 units, maybe even the top 5 units that, you know, are most recognizable in the game. You know, you got your Lunas and your ML Landies. You get your letterhead units. FCC's up there. Hell, she was the rival of ML Luna through the entire World Cup series. She's very well loved, and people have been asking for an FCC buff for how freaking long. Every time we get a balanced patch, you know, FCC mod check, where is she? And then they came out with a balanced patch that, while making her very strong and very usable, was lazy. Yeah, useless. Only thing that makes her cool is 12 imprint. That's what a lot of people saw. Is that like, okay, she's a speed imprint. There's no such thing as a bad speed imprint. She's a tanky speed imprint. It'll stick around, maybe do some sub damage. Hope you got an extra 3F from Overlord. But it just felt like she didn't really have an identity with these buffs. And that's why when I read the comment from Smilegate here about this, and this wording is pretty clear to me, right? That after reading the feedback, they've excluded Fallen Cecilia. They're working on a new adjustment plan, which will be just later. And this one, we will carefully monitor all heroes to ensure adjustments are, and I quote, more tailored to each hero's unique strengths and needs.
So what you're saying is that the character won't be able to be hit with unbuffable and will be twice as tanky.
What I'm saying is I can guarantee you she's not going to have a 12 speed imprint, but they're saying, okay, we hear you. This isn't the FCC you wanted. You wanted I don't know, a more lore accurate FCC, an FCC that was more worthy of her buffs, an FCC that could stand up and actually be toe-to-toe rival with Luna. I think you're going to see a much stronger FCC, and it's going to be very different and I think they will go overboard. I don't think this will be like Pirate Flan, where they just come out with a little pull my finger buff that's everyone's going to freaking hate except for like 1 or 2 people, and where she's not going to be usable unless you kind of, you know, force her in with some other monster unit like Payra. I think she's going to be a standalone Great Disaster level strong unit as a result of this, because people made it pretty clear they didn't want a boring FCC buff. They wanted a Mort buff. They wanted a Blood Moon Haste buff. They wanted their favorite character, FCC, to be stupid insane, and I think that's what they're going to be working on to be released later. So all you guys that bought FCC and thinking about recalling her to pick up a unit, maybe that's a good idea. But don't put yourself in a position to really get regrets, because I think they're making a pretty clear indictment here that they're going to work on making this something that's going to make the community hyped and not make the community go, yes, we've been waiting so long and it's okay.
Yeah. I feel like that's just such a bad take from Stove comments, though. Like when they say it's just an imprint, it's like,
it's just an
like
imprint.
they're
right?
changing everything about her. Like they're giving her more HP and everything is. It's kind of the same, but it's different, and like it's. I don't know. I feel like people that just see that, oh, it's an imprint and that's it. It's like no, it's totally overlooked. And while I agree that only people that have duplicate copies of 3F can benefit from that, I mean that's still something, right? That still helps an archetype of people that did get multiple 3Fs, kind of anticipating a change like this to kind of happen eventually, right?
Yeah.
And they can kind of benefit from that. So I don't know. I think it's a little bit tone deaf from both sides. I feel like from the commenters and also from Smelky, I feel.
100% agree, Vic, and don't let my my soapbox rant there make you think I think any differently. I was very excited about FCC. I thought she was so strong that I built two of her, right? I went with a tanky one and with a DPS one so I could play with both and see which worked out. I tossed a bunch of imprints in her to get her up to triple S. I was excited to use this unit to see if playing her fast as a mitigator or playing her slow as a damage dealer. You know, I've got 3 or 4 other builds saved in Fribbles to test out. I knew she was going to be good, and she fits the way I play perfectly. I'm an aggro cleave player, and I was looking forward to anchoring with this unit, getting tempo out of this unit, having her be a solid sub DPS. I thought her buffs made her crazy good. And I want to reiterate that I don't think the community thought her buffs sucked. I think the buffs just weren't what they wanted. They were letting FCC be played in a way that's very different than the way they've played her in the past, and they were reminiscing about all the times they played FCC in the past, how much fun that time was, and now FC gets a change, and it's a totally different job, and she's not going to work at all like she worked before, and they weren't down with it. So I don't know. I'm dropping a lot of assumptions, but that's the general feel I get reading between the lines.
Yeah, that's my worry. Like Alex is saying in the chat, boss made are good, but people don't want a good FCC. They want a broken FCC, and I've talked with like Professor Loki and stuff about this like at length for like a while. It's so hard because like I understand, like I don't want characters to come out broken. Like I think that just exasperates the problem, makes things like worse. But at the same time, we're at that point where like if you release a unit and it's not broken, it's probably not really going to see play realistically, right? Mm-hmm. And so like that's why I was going back to what I said about balance is hard, because it's like you have to hit that like really small target where it's got to be not broken, but like almost broken, right? In order for it to actually get used. Hey, that's frustrating.
A grouper's a dangerous fish. If you're in the water with a grouper can fuck you up. But if you're in the water with a grouper and 25 great white sharks, the grouper's the least of your worries. We're in a world in 2025 where if it's not broken, it's almost not playable. And that's just the world we're swimming in. It's these well-balanced mid-tier units. And it's hard to swim with sharks without getting eaten alive. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of the world we got.
What do you guys think about Shu? Like, I know she's just getting an EE and everything, but I'm kind of curious to hear what you guys think.
I originally before they removed FCC on the balance patch, I thought she was going to be like absolutely ridiculous. Like if you had her and FCC together, like her and Para, I was like, dude, this is gonna be so awful. Like you're gonna be playing against like a 290, 300 speed Shu, right? Perma stealth barrier, so you can't really get to it without hitting it with like some kind of AoE strip plus unbuffable, and then people will just pivot to, you know, ER build maybe or something. And then you just have essentially a Spectre Tenebria, but like 300 speed and not 10 KHP. It's 23 or 25 KHP. And I thought that was going to be insane. With FCC not really going to be like being a factor now, I'm a little bit lower on her, but I still think she's like potentially like low-key broken. I don't know how broken, but it feels like 4th, 5th pick right now. But I could definitely see with a speed EE on a 117 base speed character that's that tanky, that has that much game impact if left unchecked, that she could be borderline a disaster, I think.
So real quick, just here in in-game Fribbles, I without taking gear off of anybody I care about except Luna, and I can replace that piece. Here's a 295 speed Shu with really respectable damage. I think I can drop her crit damage down a lot and push some HP up if I actually use Fribbles to do this, but even just right here, it's 295 speed with her EE. This would be 307 speed if FCC was on the team with her original buffs.
I'll find
the barriers on top of her stealth, and people are like, oh yeah, but you can just use a non-attack skill and strip her berries. I'm like, and at 300 speed, she's going to take another turn, and the stealth goes right back up, and she's closer to her giant rat gun. Fuck you gonna do now? I think she's gonna be really, really oppressively good.
Look in the side chat. There's our guildmate Tristen. There's his shit for post balance patch.
Can you put a link in Discord, because if I pull up side chat, it'll jack your cameras.
Oh, okay. You want me to put it in
Discord?
Okay.
Oh, not Discord. Twitch. Put it in Twitch. I'll pull it up there. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go, man. It's friggin' It's a 300 speed shoe. Yeah, I could build something like this, I think.
Like, have fun playing against that, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, she still has all the same weaknesses as long as you can expose her, and exposing her is difficult when she re-stealths every turn. It's gonna be tough to expose her, right? Because what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to use a non-attack skill that ignores ER. Those usually are a first turn thing. You usually don't have those every single turn. So you're probably gonna have to use AoE hits to hit her hard enough to knock the barrier down so you can knock the stealth and expose her. Well, now you got to hit everything, which means you're going to piss off your Morts. You're going to piss off your young Senyas. You're really going to piss off your Hua Youngs, because if you're hitting hard enough to make this shoe's barrier break and stealth reveal, you're giga hurting somebody else, and you're eating a hit from Hua Young. You're activating Janua. There's lots of things that are going to make it tough to peel the stealth off a unit as beefy as this. Not to mention, I think people are going to be able to take her off of proof, because stealth gives you 50% damage mit versus AoE. So you could take her off and just rely on the stealth to be your damage mit, and you can put her on Bastion of Hope and stack some ER on her.
Yeah. So
now you got a Soulburn to strip her. I don't know. I think there's a lot of possibilities with this unit.
Also, don't forget the character gives a speed buff to your whole team on her first turn.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Her S3 is a speed buff. And she's a dark unit, so you can use her with Peyra. Fun, fun, fun. Giant rat guns coming even faster. I think what kills me. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me that this EE isn't exactly what Operator Cigarette needed to be relevant.
It's actually, it is pretty much exactly what
her biggest issues are she's not fast enough, and she doesn't do enough damage, and she's got no survivability. Survivability,
damage,
fast enough. Yeah, I know, but with 10 more speed, it would just be that much easier to get the damage on her, because you aren't losing so much damage trying to get some speed. I do think she still needs a damage boost to be able to break modern barriers, but this is a good start. This is a step in the right direction. It really felt like they said, let's make an EE for Operator Cigarette, and then they went, nah, let's give it to Shu.
I
don't know if a speed EE for Operator Cigarette would have been enough, though, to be honest. Like, her identity as like a nuker to kill, protection set or just barriers in general. Like, I don't really know if that is the answer to solving the problems that she has, especially with the end getting buffed with crit resist and Ilnav existing. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a little bit there with you, just because she's got like 1,000 attack. It's pretty bad. She's like, her job is to be a nuker, and she's got it's almost like Desert Jewel Basar has slightly less attack than her. It's like, what the hell is this? This is a nuker with that stat line. And the thing is, because the base stats are so bad, giving her attack percentages, the EE doesn't do it. I actually think that straight up OpSig just needs a rework.
So they were going to give this to Operator Cigarette because she was going to have usability now that Fallen Cecilia is getting a buff and small barriers are everywhere. Because Fallen Cecilia, her original counter to dealing with Fallen Cecilia was going to be Operator Cigarette, right? She's what came out to deal with the FCC Great Disaster, right? So they gave this, right? Because FCC will be out there running people over. We need a solution, and that solution was Op Cigarette with this EE. Tell me I'm wrong.
Nick's going to get his. He's going
not the tinfoil hat, man.
I swear to God, if you were going to pull up a tinfoil hat, I was going to lose my mind, Vic.
No.
So I just go make
one.
I
thought you were looking around for one.
I got some what is it? Some aluminum wrap in the other room. We could just make it right here. Arts and crafts stream. Let's go. Teach me, Tristen.
I think this is probably the most exciting thing for RTA streamers for tomorrow, is seeing how this is going to interact, how this is going to change the game, because
not
all
Tristan,
this,
say it's not so.
Well, Tori, I mean, everyone's going to be playing with Tori for sure, but I think there's some things here that'll be fun to check out and see how they work, but I think that EE has the potential to be the most impactful.
How many bookmarks you guys got for Tori? Like, are you guys all set?
I actually need to do some secret shot rolling. That's why I'm doing my my stream later on in the day. I have about 14,000 Skystones, so like definitely enough where I could roll and easily get it. Oh wow, Tristen is set, dude. I don't have that much. I have like maybe 60.
I
got like a multi.
Damn. 60?
Yeah, well, I mean, I literally just used all of it recently to get bystander imprints. Like I literally just blew it all. I opened up a story banner and just was like, psh, just yeet it all.
I'm worried I might not be able to get my third Tori.
Your third Tori? Jeez.
You need 3 of them, right? It's a post-Harsetti era. You need at least 2 of every unit, Sue.
Stop, dude.
Stop, dude. Like, you're not wrong, but at the same time, like, oh, no, dude, I'm good.
Oh, man.
I can't wait for third pick protection to go away so, like, people will, like, shut up about Harsetti, dude.
Tooth would be good on Urban Shadow Shoe.
Oh, it's not going away? No.
Yeah, there's no way it's going away. There's no way.
Look, I want to hope and believe, man. It's actually funny. Like, my opinion on Harsetti between September and now is like night and day, bro. It's like, I feel like Spider-Man in Civil War, where it's like I started Team Iron Man and now I'm Team Cap all the way.
Here's the problem with Tooth on any unit that's not a Miki, is if you put Tooth on any unit that's not a Miki, your Miki's not wearing Tooth. Unless you're like one of the 1% of people who actually has a second Tooth that you're okay with, or that's maxed out, because otherwise, I mean, I could use this Tooth and 15% of the time it does nothing, 80% of the time it does nothing when I'm on the left side of the screen. So, and you can't pull it. You can't activate a banner. Tooth is what we like to call semi-limited, right? Because it's not tied to anybody's banner. The only way to get this is random summons, or for Smilegate to just decide to put it in the powder shop, which they only... I think Tooth's been in the powder shop like 3 times in the past 7 years.
Yeah, dude, Tooth is an obnoxious one to get.
Yeah, it is a tough artifact to get.
I think anyone that's thinking of running Uberius on Payra for whatever reason, you can always just go play El's Fist on Amiki and make her on a speed build and run on like 7k attack or close to it. Like, you might be able to get some utilization out of that, but...
No, that's kind of clever. El's Fist, yes. The damage stacks up like crazy as your
yeah,
bro. I'm with all the people in chat that are trying to go like base speed counter Wukong with his EE on Uberius. That sounds like a riot. That's a really funny MLM.
That's 50% increased attack at max.
Dude, counter Wukong, dude. That is a really funny MLM. I've seen people make it work, dude. We have we had like casual mock lobbies like a couple weeks back, and one of my viewers was like, counter Wukong. It was like 450 gear score counter Wukong, like best gear on his account, and he played it with like bad cat armor in the front, and I was like, dude, it was so wild.
Problem with Wukong is he takes so many stats. You generally don't have a shit ton of attack stacked on him, and Ubris procs based on your attack stats, so the pop is so low. I'm not sure it's really worth losing actual. I mean, you may as well just put symbol on him and do more damage. The pop is nice because it lets you bust through damage limit, but that's kind of about it. I don't know. I don't think this or Holiday Eufiend would be a smarter pick, because typically Holiday Eufiends have a lot more attack. Mine doesn't, because she's just holding gear.
That's cat, bro. That unit has 1100 base. That character is never having high attack. Yeah, character is cat.
I thought people build her with high attack for the burns. So yeah, in that case, no.
No, she's got Blue Luna syndrome. Looks pretty, ain't got good stats.
I think the biggest cap I've heard so far is Lone Crescent Balloon on Uber's Tooth.
Yeah, that's crazy word.
That's great. I was like, good luck keeping her alive without Sigurd, and they said, oh, we just put her on lifesteal. Like, oh god,
That was like someone that said run a strays on Uberius to one-shot stuff without crit. I was like, bro.
No, I'm sorry, dude. Straze is straight up just that character stays killing hunts for me, man. They would have to completely like overhaul that man. That man is in the ground when it comes to PvP right now.
Uberus Firecan. Yeah, the HP scaler, give him the attack boost, the artifact that scales off attack. Brilliant.
There's a fun exercise for you. What does Straze need as an exclusive equipment to be playable?
He's on the next summon, right? So anytime I see this kind of stuff, it makes me think maybe we're looking at the next balance patch units, right? I mean, unlikely Dilibet, she recently got one, and Solitary is kind of future-proof, but Strays, you know, of all the units on here, you know, buffed recently, pretty good, just doesn't need a buff's pretty good, but Strays, he's kind of suffering. He's not really used anywhere. A handful of people will say, he's still great in hunts. I'm like, for all the nuns of times you do hunts, because if you got enough gear to build a Strays, you sure as shit aren't farming hunts. Your ass is in Rift.
True.
Except for that small 1 month window in between rifts, that's kind of Strays doesn't see a lot of use.
That's me though. I farm. I'm the Strays hunt farmer. Okay.
I mean, I have a Strays to farm hunts too, but I mean, recently, man, I've just been quick battling the hunts, so I'll just run Fene and 3 other units and friendship farm while I farm the hunts.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, you're right. It's only when Rift is down.
So this is a spicy one. Speaking of quick battles, what do you guys think about being able to buy this? Yeah.
Slightly more mask off.
Here we go. So you can spend 50, 110, 180, 450, up to 450 Skystones spent to get 6 additional rounds. I'm reading between the lines, but my assumption is they said additional round of quick battle, so I suspect that means you spend 50 Skystones, you can do 10 more quick battles. You drop another 60 Skystones, you can do another 10 quick battles for a total of 20 quick battles for 110. Up to you spend 450 Skystones, and you can do 60 quick battles. Jury's out on that. Some people say, no, you spend 100, you get 60. You spend 60, you get 20. But I don't know. That's what it feels like to me. 450, and you can do your 70 quick battles a day. The 10 free and the additional 6. But to what end? What would be the reason you would want to do this, even as a whale?
Win E7 WC. That's about it.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can
think there's no benefit, other than like maybe the mega whales that are like spending millions, like
the Brother Stones of the world. That's it.
Yeah, like the guy from Korea with the 3 million spent or whatever. Like, maybe him, but
now, you know, maybe like you're getting ready to go to bed, you've just brushed your teeth, you lay down, you went, fuck, I didn't do my Epic 7 dailies. Maybe you could drop 50 or 60 Skystones and zoom bang it all out and collect your stuff if you're that kind of nuts. Maybe during a buff event and you're a Giga Whale, you know, this lets you squeeze in 70 targeted super fast quick battles and then it's back to Rift. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see, in a world of background battling and where the Giga Whales are typically farming Rift anyway, I just don't see where doing 70 extra. Now, from my one guy mentions like, well, yeah, but you can use this to really push Arena, but I don't think these quick battles will work in Arena. Quick battling Arena is a different system than quick battling hunts, and this specifically says hunts or spirit altars, doesn't mention Arena. So you won't be able to use this to, you know, hard push and inflate your score, especially in the last hour of Arena push. I don't think that's a thing at all.
Real talk.
Since you're an Arena player... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, real talk, why can I not use quick battling to clear adventure?
Good
Same
take.
reason
Honestly,
you can't.
Good take.
Same reason you can't use it to clear expos.
It's so annoying, dude. I would never even bother using my quick battling on Spirit Altar or Hunt if I could just use it on like unrecorded history.
Well, I think you just answered your own question. Why would they do something? I mean, you know, this is a way to make people engage with a part of the game that they normally wouldn't engage with. If we didn't get the daily 10 quick battles, I don't know that I would ever touch hunts or spirit altars.
But Tristen, Etheria Restart has it.
We've talked about that game has a lot of things that would be nice to see in Epic 7. But yeah.
Very much so.
Where's my quick battling on Expo? It's on the same patch that we get the penguin slider.
Don't forget the tier 4 expos, right? That was supposed to be coming at some point.
Yeah, guys, it's coming.
It's in that patch, whatever patch that is.
Guys, no cap. I've said this a couple of times. I'm genuinely concerned about how stupidly easy a lot of the repeatable, grindable PvE is. I mean, for us old timers, that's just quality of life, and it makes things a little easier because we only engage with that stuff for, you know, to facilitate our high-end gameplay. But for people that have just downloaded the game, man, this is kind of the thing that keeps them involved in grinding and working on stuff. Usually people, when they are getting to the point where they're thinking about making the jump into RTA, a lot of them haven't even finished Abyss yet. A lot of them are, you know, have maybe only had their Wyvern 13 full auto team for maybe a month or two, and now it's just like, pull the brand new unit and press auto and you can clear the hardest farming content in the game. Pull the new unit and you can quick battle 1-man or 2-man all of the hunts and friendship farm your units. Abyss, all you need, you want Nightmare Raid? Well, did you pick up this new unit? When was the last time we had a new unit that didn't solo Banshee? Right? Schneal solos Banshee, Young Senya solos Banshee, Fene solos Banshee. It's kind of crazy, right?
Bro. Got it. Harsetti, noted.
I think that's power creep,
So,
right? Like,
yeah,
like the new units that come out, it's natural for the hunts that were kind of since the beginning of time. I think it's kind of natural, right?
And that brings me
around.
around to what I'm saying. Here's the thing, right? People play the game and they progress through the game and they go, okay, I've done everything I can do. I've beaten all the abysses. I even built Commando Arena because of Sue, and now I've completed the Abyss. Now I'm auto farming everything. I'm friendship farming. I seem to have knocked all that out. I guess it's time to check out RTA. Let me see what I need to do for that. Let me look at some strategies. I'll watch Vic do some fights and see how his gear is built, and holy shit, I can't do that. I don't have half of these units, so I can't build this stuff. I think the gap between finishing PvE and getting ready to jump into PvP, that gap is getting bigger and bigger, and I'm worried it'll be so big that people will get bored playing Epic 7, grinding what they need before they can start playing Epic 7 again. And I know people say, no, man, I did a 6-month account review and was able to do PvP to RTA to Masters in 2 weeks of play. Yeah. You can do that if you've been playing this game for years. We're talking about the relatively new player. What's going to keep them engaged in the game when everything is so easy to accomplish, so hand on the plate? So I really think we need to start seeing upgraded PvP. As much as I hate to say it, we kind of need Expo 4, we kind of need Hunt 14s, we need more Abyss floors and a super duper Nightmare Raid with the human Vera in it, right? We maybe need the auto tower. Maybe we need a hell mode for that, or at least what they got, like 5 difficulties. Maybe we need 6 or 7 difficulties to actually make that a little challenging. I think we need something for people to sink their teeth into and engage in the game on the PvE side to keep people playing and interested long enough that they are around long enough to pull the units to be able to dive into PvP. Maybe I'm off base, maybe I'm reading too much into that, but it's something that's been on my mind a lot lately with how overpowered, how all of my guides lately are like, oh yeah, Rift guide, Fene, press auto. That was a great guide.
Yeah.
I spent 8 minutes telling people to pick Fene and press a button. So yeah,
it's actually funny because most of my Abyss guides, the more recent comments people are getting around to the new beginner series, right? They're just like, I just substituted Commander Lorena with Fene. Like that's the comment I keep seeing across all the videos. I use the same team, but I use Fene.
It's not just Fene, right? I mean, Brieg is another great example. I mean, it seems to be an ongoing thing of making PvE easier and more accessible, which I love. I love that, but there's the flip side of it where nothing easy is worth doing. If something's not challenging, you will lose interest giga fast, and the last thing we want is for new players to lose interest in the game before they've gotten to the challenging end game part of RTA and high-end arena and maybe even new guild wars, but you know, the repeatable PvP. And hopefully brawl mode maybe bridges that gap, but if it doesn't, I don't know. Am I fretting over nothing? Am I full of shit here? What do you guys think?
I'm just dying over Bread's comment in the chat. Fenne's pretty good for anyone without Commander Lorena. Oh, no, you're pretty much spot on. I've had the same opinion as you. Like, we talk on the regular, so, like, you know where I stand on this, but I feel the same way. I'm like, Hunt hasn't changed since COVID lockdown. Like, we were in lockdown when the Hunt 13 came out, like, and it's still the same. And here we are, like, 5 years later, basically. And it's like, the characters that have come out with power creep, like Vic was saying, they just clear all the 5-year-old content like it's nothing. And so now you're just like, what do I do? Like, there has to be something else that is a bridge between World Arena and finishing the PvE content that exists. Because, as you said, the people that are playing even at like Gold and Masters are still in franchise players that, even if they're very casual, right? They've still been farming hunts for like probably 4 years longer than you if you're a new player. And so you would assume, if at least they roll some gear, that they have some, usable pieces, and they've gotten lucky and gotten like a good chunk of the characters in the last 4 years. So you just feel like there's an ocean between what is, somebody with like a year of experience versus somebody that's been playing for like 4 or 5 years. And I've always said that that's like one of the things that's really annoying. When you are in a game that is going into year 7, the young blood is how you stay in the game, right? We have the dash event, right? You need to nurture that young blood when it comes in, make them feel welcome, make them want to stay at the game, and make it feel like when they watch a Vic Chun that they can be Vic in a reasonable amount of time. Like, you don't want to feel like, oh, I'm watching Vic, I want to be just like him. I could get there in 3 years if I spend money. That feels awful. That's a terrible thing to tell somebody.
I agree that there should be new PvE content for sure. I think that, like, there should be new Abyss floors, new challenge floors. Like, Dagger Sakar can be updated. Like, there's a ton of stuff that they can do, right? Just off the top of our heads, for sure. But I think, like, that goes for every game, though. Like, even if, say, like, I want to, like, play Summoner's War, like, right now, right? Yep. Download it, install it, and I want to get competitive. I want to be in the top 1%. It's like, there is going to be like some level of work that you are going to have to, like some amount of time that you're going to have to invest. And I think that's just natural progression, right? Just how like what you guys say with the dash patch and everything, like, yeah. No, I 100% agree. It shouldn't be easy, but the point is, like, it feels like it's an near impossible ladder to climb for some people. They need a little bit of a boost. I'm not saying like give them everything, right? But like some of the like the stuff, like the gearing system is, pretty unforgiving RNG wise compared to a lot of other competitors that are out there. Like, I know it's like a holdover from like Summoner's War, but I feel like
0 out of 5. How about you?
Yeah, 0 out of 5. Also, the game should be at least a little bit more forgiving with its gearing system.
Being awful quiet there, Vic. Are you 0 out of 5 or what?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. That's fine. Solidarity.
Come on, man. I'm slow. Like, this is known fact. I'm a slow player.
Man says he's a slow player. I turn on his stream. Man's got 2 310s and is like, I'm slow. And I'm like, bro, I got 1. And that's if I put all my speed gear on it.
310 not 315 is all I'm saying. Like,
that's the truth. Yeah, that's...
Now, Rue said something earlier. He said that I'd argue against that personally. PvE was supposed to be hard when that's all that there was. I'm not saying PvE needs to be hard. I'm saying it needs to be challenging enough to keep people engaged with the game. Right?
Perfect example,
to bridge that gap between I finished my Wyvern 13 and the gap between I'm auto farming Wyvern 13 and I'm ready to start RTA should be a couple of months, not over a year. And you're talking, if you're saying the average path to actually legitimately playing RTA, not just farting around in bronze, right? The legitimately engaging RTA takes a year, then you should be at the Wyvern 13 full auto mark. You should be accomplished all your PvE goals in the first 6 months, so that you've only got, maybe another 6 months to bridge the gap. That's not so bad. But if you're doing all that stuff by the first week, by the second week, and a lot of people are auto farming some of this stuff on week 2, and then you've got to go 6, 8, 10 months before you can even think about RTA. That's pretty brutal. So I don't know. That's just something I've been thinking about a lot lately is how do we keep new people engaged with the game, especially with the limited amount of content that's been kind of squeezed out lately.
Yeah, I think it's just a couple new interesting pieces of PvE content. And I really think if you just make gear RNG, lesser, that goes a long way, right? Because the thing is, you can do you don't need let's say Blue Crow or whatever is like the meta tank, and you don't have him. Like you could probably use like a Raz or something, right? Or like a Yulha. You can use a character that's similar-ish as long as it's on good gear. It'll be solid and at least get you to like champion, right? Like I have used like Celestial Mercedes or like what's his name, like Sorella. We did a couple weeks ago on stream. We played Xeno. We literally were trying to climb with Xeno on ladder, right? Like you could play this stuff in like Masters and Challenger and get away with it if the gear is good. If you give new players good gear, even if they don't have insert broken meta unit, they can still find a path forward. But if you just make it so that they spend a month, 2 months trying to gear one character for it to be like pretty solid, it's just going to be a wash. They're just going to get frustrated and give up.
Valid.
So Joe's saying Challenge Abyss 2 years ago, last update. Normal Abyss 3 years ago. To be fair, that's one and done content, right? It's challenging, it's fun. How many people watch an Abyss video, Sue? My most watched Abyss video maybe has 1,500 views on it, and it's years old.
It's probably like, I think my most viewed one might be like one of the Challenge Abyss guys. I think it was like 10K, but that's about it. Like the standard is like 2 to 3K tops.
Right. Because it's one and done content. Once people do it, it's over with. How about Rift? My Rift video has, I think, 48,000 views on it, and it's just use Fene and press go. That's because lots of people want to do Rift. Why? Because they're going to do it a lot. They're not just trying to squeeze through and be done. It's repeatable, farmable content. So Smilegate does seem to be more interested in focusing on repeatable, farmable PvE stuff, right? We got auto tower updates, repeatable content. They changed Ancient Inheritance, repeatable content. They're coming out with a brawl mode thing. They're coming out with Guild Wars. They're looking at giving us new PvE stuff or upgraded PvE stuff. But a lot of work and effort goes into new Abyss floors, and I don't think it's appreciated by the majority of the audience. So that might be why we're not seeing as many.
This is my chance to plug an idea that was proposed by me and a couple of people in my Discord. We were just kind of farting around a couple weeks ago talking about this stuff, right? What if, you remember how, or they still have it, like there's a leaderboard for auto tower, right? Right, so you could clear it the fastest, right? What if auto tower was, instead of just like auto stuff, like it's literally, there is an abyss.
There's a leaderboard for auto tower?
Yes, there is.
Since when?
For who could clear it fastest. Okay, you've never seen this? Like it's like there's like, you could see who could clear it the fastest. Or am I wrong? Is this how
Ain't no way? Ain't no way. No, what?
No, I'm saying there used to be one of these things. Anyways, that's.
Are we talking about back in the days of 100-floor auto tower?
Yes. So that's exactly what we got onto. We had the 100-floor tower.
Yeah, what if old auto tower.
You have 100 Abyss floor tower, and it resets monthly. Like, and it's essentially like randomized floors, or like a kind of like the roguelike how you did with auto tower, right? You basically like merge both things. That's repeatable hard content that you have to think about, and it changes monthly. I think that would be pretty fun, but I don't know if they could pull that off.
Well, I can tell you that, and they've said as much in our meetings with them, that they're aware of the charm drought, they're aware of the lack of content, and that they were working on things to address that. More things for us to do, things that aren't just RTA. Things to do with our stamina, and they weren't full of shit, right? They announced the brawl mode. Here's something you can do when you're tired of RTA. You need a head break from that, but you want to do repeatable, farmable content that's fun. Maybe has a shop. It's crazy that brawl mode's getting a shot before RTA is, but here we are. They made changes to Arena. I don't like them. I think they were overall negative, but at least they made changes to it. They're coming out with changes to Guild Wars, which hopefully are more than just cosmetic. A lot of people are saying it's just Guild Wars being reskinned, but I'm telling you, having 3 strongholds, each protected by 3 sub towers, that means 9 people in your guild are important instead of just 4 people in your guild are important to the success of your guild. So I think it does offer a lot more synergy and strategy to it. So I'm kind of looking forward to see what they do with Guild Wars. So yeah, I mean, it's easy to say, where's our abyss? Where's our new ancient inheritance? Where's our great achievement? But you can't say they aren't actively doing stuff. These are big developer time-consuming things to do, and it's not like they're just sitting on their thumbs and not doing anything. They are actively trying to put things in, up to and including giving us really, starting in 2024 especially, they really tried to make stories more than just same generic 4 levels and 5 fights in hell mode and then finish the story, or it's a puzzle event, lather, rinse, repeat. You may not have liked Rhythm Surfer, you may not have liked Biblis's Garden, you may not have liked Young Senya's grid style tactics kind of a thing. Some people didn't like the volleyball. You may have liked it, you may not have. Yeah, I have no idea why my fucking nose is so red. I think it's the background.
I was gonna say you're so red.
I know, right? I guess I'm ready to pull a sleigh. I don't, you may not have liked it, but you got to admit, at least they were trying to make these events fun and different and something new and unusual. So we can't say it's the same shit over and over. So I got to applaud them for that.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to next month because I'm curious to see how robust is Brawl, because it's something new to do, something fun to do. I'm pretty pumped for that. As for your comment though, is why no RTA shop? Why does Brawl have one? RTA doesn't. Lest you forget, in preseason of RTA, right before it actually came out, basically season 0, excuse me, there was basically a shop where you could get stamina that you could basically buy daily from RTA for playing RTA, and people hated it. So they knew real quick they couldn't attach rewards to RTA outside of the skin at the end of the season, because if you had to play RTA daily, Stove was flooded with comments of, "Oh, I hate that I have to play RTA to get this thing."
Yeah, but don't they
literally just enter the game and then just top right?
Yeah, and that's what they did. That's what they did. But that was stamina. Who says the shop has to be stamina? Maybe it's cosmetics. Maybe it's you can get these new emotes that you can use in RTA to make fun of people that you beat or lose against, right? Maybe it's 3 months access to these shop lobby cosmetics, and you can, if you want to play RTA, you can decorate your lobby with these cosmetics that say, "Hey, look, I'm an RTA nerd." They aren't something where it's you got to do the stamina, because how else are you going to farm Wyvern if you don't do the RTA to get the stamina? I mean, nobody said it has to be good rewards. It could just be, you can do this. I mean, if they put a shop in for Arena, people fucking hate Arena. And you know what? The people that hate Arena just don't do it. They say, yeah, you know what? I'll find those rewards other places. I'll farm my charms naturally. I don't have to farm Arena for the points to get it. Or go ahead and give people an NPC shop or NPC fight in Arena, right? Let you fight some bots. We know there's bot Arena, right? We know down in Bronze you're fighting people that aren't real people. Let the shop be attached to not just Arena, but also to draft mode. So people can say, I can just do this and not worry that my gear's not good enough. I will be on equal footing with everybody and I can have some fun with it. There's things they can do to get around that, right?
Hell, even mock lobbies. I'd be okay with that. Keep track of mock lobbies.
I don't know. It feels kind of weak to say the reason they aren't doing it is because people get really upset when they're forced to do it. I get really upset when I'm forced to do regular Arena in a modern format to get the rewards.
You don't like Carcetti?
People are like, I hate that I have to do expeditions, but the rewards are so good, I feel compelled to do it. It's like, oh, boo fucking who? You have to play the game. You know what you don't? If there's some part of the game you don't like, There's nothing forcing you to do it. There are no rewards that anything in this game gives that you can't get somewhere else.
Can I just say, chat type 1, if otherworldly chests should be returned back to Rift and just be permanent and be a part of Rift.
Oh yeah, dude. Wait, hold
Like-
on. Let me just
Like, come on, like what's going on here? You know,
like
Oh
that
my
was such a
God.
that was such a godsend, and I was like, wait, you mean it's not permanent? I thought that, like, I was about to say it was one of the best quality of life features the game had in like a year, and then they're like, oh
Yeah.
no, dude, it's just like for like this like 5 or 6 weeks, and I was like, wait, what? It's not permanent? Like, what do we
like does it even hurt
doing
anybody?
here? This is
You know,
exactly
I
what I was
don't think
talking
it hurts
about.
anyone.
Like,
Yeah.
gearing. No, it doesn't hurt anybody. It helps you. It gives you a statistically above average piece, and if it rolls average, it is still a statistically above average piece, and therefore beneficial to the base, like as a whole. It's crazy to me that's not permanent. Thank you for reminding me about that. Like, I'm actually mad now that that's
That's
going
fucking
on.
ridiculous, man. Like I spent like 150 leaves on the Rift event, 0 pieces. Like, what's going on? You know, otherworldly chests would not let me down like that. You know,
Right.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly it. Dude, I got some bangers, bro. Like, I got
Oh,
so many.
otherworldly
Like,
chest, man, that paid off huge for me.
yeah, I like worst piece I got was like 98 equipment score. I was just like straight swimming in bangers. Like, this is such a good thing. Like, I want this all the time.
Yep. Tell me, what do you guys think about Op Cigarette taking even more strays here? Right below them giving her EE to Shu, they let us know that her having a focus bar was just a cuck up, right? Where evidently they were testing her on the test server, probably testing ways to make OpSig work. Again, she was going to be a focus unit. She was going to be a focus unit, and that focus was going to give her evasion, maybe stealth, maybe 100% evasion when she's at full focus, and she's going to get a speed EE, and she's going to have increased damage. The higher her focus bar is, the more damage she does. I'm telling you, they were cooking on making Operator Cigarette good, and then they went, you know what? This is so good. This is so good, she's just going to murder FCC and make the game not fun and unplayable and stuff. So, yeah, you know what? We'll just pretend this was an accident and that we're fixing it and that no changes will be made to FCC. And you know what? Give her EE to Shu.
You good?
I'm telling you, man. I know things.
I know things too.
I feel so bad. Poor OpSig.
where's the justice for OpSig, man?
No
good.
justice,
She's
man.
such a beautiful character. Like, come on.
Yeah, dude. Like, that character is a travesty right now. Like, please save our girl. Save Fallen Cecilia first, but once you do, save Cigarette. Like, she's definitely, I think, the worst ML5 in the game. Like, not even close.
And you say
OpSig?
that you say
Yeah,
that.
OpSig, yeah.
I mean, stepping
No,
stepping
who thinks
outside
worse?
of a. I mean, yeah, we're not
No.
going to talk about Eins here, right? Because that's
Oh, I don't
free,
consider that.
free unit.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, Vic, who you got?
Galaxy,
If it's not
like
OpSig, who you got? Who you got?
the who do you think? Who do you think? Who's the worst? Because I think it's not OpSig either, but I'm curious who you think is
low
worse.
key, I'm just gonna say it. Dark Corvus, man.
Dark Corvus,
Or
hell yeah.
MLK
That's exactly who I was thinking of.
MLK Run is also shit, man. Like,
Dude, somebody was trying to explain to me earlier that ML Kairon was like good versus Dark Para because it charges him quick. I was like, but what if she dodges?
If Stove said it was ML Para, then ML Para would have gotten a buff. Stove was pretty evenly split on ML Para.
Yeah, I will say this. Dark Corvus is pretty shit right now. I will say that. Like, he's definitely like down there. You know what? No, I'm actually going to yield. I'll say it's Dark Corvus because the thing is, OpSig at least gives attack buff. It's like team-wide attack buff.
Oh, remember we used to use Dark Corvus all the damn time in Guild Wars?
Like, if
I
I
mean,
was
he's still honestly okay though. Like in Guild War
into
right
certain fights, right? You run across
Yeah.
the occasional person that doesn't have a.
Evan in chat in shambles. It's our guildmate. He's the resident Dark Corvus like fanboy.
now. I mean, if there's Ruel, on
We're
that defense,
campaigning
like,
for him to get a buff, Evan. Go with us on this.
I can't hear you.
I can't hear you. He muted us. He's like, screw you guys.
Yeah, because like you're right though. I could build like a 260 speed OpSig, like maybe build no damage on. Maybe even faster. If you just go full speed, no damage whatsoever, you're just like, yeah, it's here for the attack bomb. Is it good? No, but that's still more useful than Dark Corvus.
Does Spectre have a use in PvP nowadays?
Nope.
In very low end RTA as a 4/5 pick, she's still terrible. So no.
Cougar Bat is kicking the air right now, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Cougar Bat is on a campaign now.
He's
like,
on his fucking knees, dude.
Yeah, he's on a campaign, bro. You'll like log in and you'll see like something was sent to the community managers, and it's just Cougar Bat being like, please fix Spectre. Please, just change the E. It's not good.
Very niche situation.
Cougar Bat's like at Walmart, he sees the Steny suggested buff, he just drops to his knees.
Oh, man.
What about the Ravi skin and all the skin? Here's what I think about the skins, right? The skins will have to be attached to a epic pass. We're in the middle of an epic pass. You're probably going to see a new skin come out every quarter tied to an epic pass. I think sometime in April, May, second quarter, we'll get the first one. It'll probably be the Ravi skin because that one will look the most completed. And then third quarter and then fourth quarter, you'll see the skins come out. But they got to spread them out a little bit unless they plan for some other way to release them, because they can't double stack these epic passes, or they probably won't double stack them, or they're going to have to find some other way to introduce them into the game. We're going to get them. They've announced them, but they'll spread it out, guys. That's content over the entire freaking year.
I mean, like it's better that they take their time to get it right and worth people's tickets or Skystones or whatever, rather than it being kind of like half-baked, right? So I think it's totally fine if it's not out sooner than later.
I proposed this question before, but how do you guys feel if a skin comes out and it's dollars only? Can't use Skystones, gotta like straight up cash.
Does it give me speed?
No.
As long as it doesn't have stats on it, I personally don't care. But I've always felt that they should have a dollar value and a skin ticket value assigned to it. One could just say, well, you can just go buy the ticket pack and it's the same thing. But I tell you, people are more inclined to push the purchase button when it's on the screen than to go and try to buy the equivalent in other currency to spend. It's just that extra step. It actually slows people down. I bet you more people buy the Battle Pass Marina than push the Skystone button in Expeditions.
Yep. That's probably accurate.
So Book of Memories, if you guys want to find out why I fucking hate this rabbit, you can go watch Ran and Ahmed try to go on a date and get constantly fucked with by this asshole rabbit. So that's fun. It does have a nice ring.
Also with the absolute worst line in like E7 history is in that story.
Oh, where is Redos? Where is Redos when we need him?
I don't even know where to begin with that line. Like, it's just like his fingers were like newborn puppies, all excited and trembling, and it's like, what?
Not knowing where to go, but knowing, yeah. Where is it?
And it's just like, what do you mean his fingers are like puppies? Like, what? What does that even mean?
Newborn puppies. The newborn puppy. That was peak fucking right. Red. I kind of want you to jump into voice chat to read it.
The dramatic reading, dude.
The dramatic reading. You want to come in and read the newborn puppies line, Red? That's right. Red's sick. He lost his voice. Oh.
I have it. I know.
Next time.
Because somebody saved it for me and sent it to me and told me to put it in the "What Your Favorite Waifu Says About You" video when I made that. Which, by the way, I need to go and make the "What Your Favorite Husbando" one says about you. I've been slacking on that one.
So is that about it? Is there anything else we got that's exciting tomorrow? We got the Tori story. We get to test out Tori. We get the Shu EE. We get the bounce patch that's somewhat lackluster because of the loss of Fallen Cecilia. I want to reiterate to people, her buffs aren't canceled. They're postponed and changed, right? They aren't
we'll get
saying
them in 10 months, bro.
They aren't saying They aren't saying we're not ever going to buff FCC again. They're saying you guys didn't like this, so we're going to go back to the kitchen and make your dinner a different way. And hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's not like flan, where what they came up with is, and I don't think it will be. I think they learned from flan, and this time they're going to make sure when they drop this, it's going to be crazy. How long did it take flan change? She was not the next patch, but the one after, if I'm not mistaken. Or was she the next one? From when they canceled it to when they did it. 2 months, so she was the very next balance patch.
I thought it was 2 patches.
I thought it was 2 too, but a couple of people in chats are saying 2 months, and the next one, I think. Or regardless, it wasn't long. I suspect 6 weeks from now, we'll be talking about what's going to happen to FCC in 2 weeks. And I suspect the conversations are going to go something like, holy shit. That's what my gut's telling me. My gut's telling me they're going to make her... She was the first great disaster, and I think she's going to be a great disaster again. How much did I miss in this podcast? About an hour and 40 minutes.
Just watch it back, man.
Yeah, I'll post it. I'll post it.
The VOD exists for a reason.
Yeah.
Is this patch going to be until reset? Please say no.
Is this patch going to be until what?
Until the reset.
Like when the server goes live, it's available.
All right. Well, I hope it's not until reset, man. Otherwise, it's cooked.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
No, if it's gonna be until reset.
Yeah.
Is what going to be until reset?
The patch.
The balance patch? Balance patch will go live when the game comes back up.
Hopefully not tomorrow.
Why not?
No, like I need to still do like my Guild War attacks, you know, like.
Let me see. Balance adjustment.
Has Rat E even talked about it yet?
Oh, you're saying will the downtime last the entire? Yeah. It's the end of season. It really doesn't count until Guild. I really hope they knock it out of the park with this Guild Wars. It's so important, right? It's probably the most important change that Epic 7 is going to have in a long time, right? Because if Guild Wars is exciting and engaging, people are going to want to join guilds. When people want to join guilds, they form communities. They jump into guild discords. They talk to each other. They strategize. They come up with plans. They talk to each other about how to be better. They get hyped about the game. Communities are what drive gacha games. Right?
Yes.
How many people say I'm only here because of the friends I've made, because of the community that I'm in? I'm only here because of the community. That's like everybody that's been playing more than 3 years. We sure aren't here because we sure aren't here because like farming, killing wyverns for the 10 billionth time is what does it for me, right? We're here for the people. And when communities stop talking, when guilds stop chatting, when discords go silent, that's when EOS really does set in. So I think the Guild War change is probably the most important change we've ever had as far as like what we really needed to be a home run. So I'm really fingers crossed that's going to be great in March.
I'm really looking forward to that Vic video, bro, because it's going to be 1 of 2 videos, bro. It's going to be literally Vic talking about how game is saved, greatest update of all time, bro. Or he's going to be like, this is the worst rework of all time. This is dog shit.
I swear to God, I will crash out. If the update sucks, I will 100% crash out.
The words emergency patch better. If it's just cosmetic, the words emergency patch better pop up fast.
There's the Vic video can only be 1 of 2 things. It's either the biggest glaze you've ever seen, or it's just the biggest crash out you've ever seen. There is no in between.
100%.
I'm very hopeful on that. I'm very hopeful.
So
even more so than Brawl mode. As much as I enjoy the Brawl mode and stuff, I'm looking forward to more farmable content. Guild Wars creates community.
Why play Brawl? We can play TFT. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but TFT doesn't give me 3 leaves.
Yeah.
Good talk.
Oh my God.
Look,
guys,
let's
I think that's about it. Do we have anything else to chit chat about? It's kind of a lean time, but we've got a lot coming up over the next few months. This is the part where it starts rolling downhill faster, right? Guild Wars, Brawl Mode, limited units, custom summons, potential collabs in April. This is where it starts hitting us harder and faster, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Something I do want to say to everyone too, sorry Pat, is make sure you guys do go and gear a Solitaria. Like if you guys have mine's just been collecting dust, like I'm gonna put some gear on her, because with the shoe buff coming through, with the Rylet buff coming through, like, and obviously like Fire Flan's already a problem, like you guys better invest some solid gear on her, because she'll help you guys quite a bit.
Yep.
I don't know if my Solitaria is going to cut it, but I'll give it a shot.
Also,
got
gear
to
Green
speed.
Bazaar. That's all I'm saying. Let's gear Green Bazaar, because DN's getting buffed. Let's gear Green Bazaar.
Yeah, Bazaar's stat line is so wonky for how good for what his kid is, dude. Just for fun, guys, go look at Green Bazaar's stats if you remember it. If you're just like chilling tomorrow, just go look at his stats. You'll be like, what the hell? This man got more defense than most knights. Why the hell does this man have so much attack?
One last thing that we didn't discuss, right, is packs. The real content.
The Tory in a lifetime packs.
The Tory in a lifetime pack. Smoggate's basically saying, hey, destruction immunity. Do you think I'm on base when I say whatever this gear is, it's probably the gear they were using on her when they did the demo video? Do you think that's a fair take or not so much? You know, when they were demoing the unit on the video.
I think that's kind of valid.
That's valid, I think.
So, I mean, we got your whale pack, and they are boosting the amount of sky stones in it, right?
Yep.
That's actually pretty fat, right? The whales don't really care about the hero and the artifact. These are just imprints, maybe coin shop coins, but we all love the slate and the bottles. I don't know why you have to choose one. Are they so damn valuable we can't just get both? That one pack where you got both of them from a single pack, that was choice. I bought the shit out of that, but
are crown bunnies basically the
crown
like the Alexia things, the gifts?
Yeah, these are going to be the currency that you can spend in the web event, right?
Okay.
So this is going to be $100, and it's pretty stereotypical value. They probably are noticing people aren't buying this pack as much as they used to, and this is what they do. When they notice sales are slipping, they put things in it. They've added the bonus bunnies, and they've added more bookmarks. So they're testing the water to see if this little bit of an increase is going to make people buy it again, or if they need to go further. Want to give one last time for the people in the back who haven't heard this before, please be aware, anytime you see times 15 on the summon, it's deceptive language. It's not 15 4 to 5 star summons, it's 15 4 to 5 star summon tickets, and it takes 5 tickets to do a summon, so this is 3 summons.
Okay, but what if they did give you 15 4 or 5 star pulls? Would that be just insane value and make you
I think this would be one of the best packs for a newer player who's got $100 burning the hole in their pocket.
Let's get a Smellgate.
And then this one right here is, of course, half of the value, so it's going to be half of the price. This is your $50 pack. But these are the unusual ones, right? This one bunny, one leaf thing, that's kind of weird, right? I think this is going to be purchased with gold. I think there's no way they put a $sign value, because even a 99-cent burning passion pack gives you more than one leaf, right?
Yeah, I think that's gold.
I think this is gold. Now, the optimal gear pack, this is the question, right? The once-in-a-lifetime packs were like $30 for ML Luna, but they've recently started jamming these mana reset stones, which they think are the best thing since sliced bread. They overprice the shit out of these. Do you think this drives the Tory pack up to $50, or do you think this is still going to be in the 30 range?
I think this is, dude, if you told me, like, it comes with 6 pieces, right?
6 pieces of already pre-leveled, pre-statted gear. Probably gonna go at 88 gear score. It's what the 88 gear usually is 88 gear score. You know, good mid-tier gear. Nothing to write home about, unless it's got 17 speed.
I'll laugh, dude. If it's pre-rolled gear, $50. If it's not pre-rolled gear, $100.
Bro, what?
No. I still think it's $30.
Bro, where's the tinfoil, man? We gotta get you something like that, man.
Yeah, we need you a hat too. I think if it's $30, this is a good pickup. I think if it's $50, this better be insane freaking Tory gear. At which point in time, it's maybe valuable for the 1 year player. But by the time you're past the 1 year point, you probably have better gear than this laying around.
I don't think that's that crazy of a take what I said though, because like look at the Harsetti and the Luna gear. That stuff was not pre-rolled. That stuff is like always 100 equipment score, dude.
Well, it says it's plus 15, so it is pre-roll.
Oh, okay, that is $50. $50.
Something to add as well is if anyone is looking or thinking of building Tory, Green Vildred does have the same base as Tory. So if you guys are in your fribbles or whatever, feel free to like crank the Vildred to see what you can make. If you guys are looking to make a Destro Tory, just FYI.
Good advice.
Don't listen to this man. Use Arbiter Vildred. He's cooler. They got the same stats. Actually, you know what? Use Kisei, bro.
Are they the same stats?
Yep, same stats, bro. Just use Kisei, bro.
So, I as much as people are not that keen on these gear packs, I actually really like them, because this is a way to say, hey, you spend all your bookmarks to get this unit, but you can't use it. You don't have the gear to really use it in any functional way because maybe you just started. Maybe you've been playing for 2 months. Maybe you haven't got to the point where you've even bothered to farm Banshee yet. All your friends said you got to go farm Wyvern, so you farm Wyvern. You don't have Destro gear. You certainly haven't been able to handle A13 yet. You don't have a lot of immunity sets. You've got that free Destro set already on your hunt team. You don't have a lot of gear. This is a way for a newer player to whip out the credit card and gear their brand new unit to a acceptable usage, even in low to mid PvP, right? Submasters PvP. You could use this unit with this gear. And you may say, well, yeah, but that's just pay to win. It's like, well, gotcha game. I mean, where you guys been? I think it's a nice way to turn free-to-play new players into casual spenders, which you may or may not agree with that, but that's the lifeblood of the game. That's what keeps the lights on at Smilegate, so they can make new units. It's people buying things, and it's a useful buy, and it doesn't unbalance the game, right? Elf Mage is not going to look at this gear and be like, oh shit, must have. It's not going to widen the gap. It's going to move the newer players up a bit without really nudging the higher end players. And I like things that close the gap. And you heard me bitch about PvE and that gap widening. This is gap closing kind of stuff. This lets newer players jump in and play with the toy they just got. Nothing worse than pulling a unit and finding out you can't build it. So yeah, I wasn't keen on this initially, but I kind of changed my tune. I like that they sell kind of middling gear specifically designed for units so that people who are willing to spend money on the game. Yeah, nobody likes toys without batteries. Very good way to put it, Asmodeus. It's nice that they're letting you buy the batteries sold separately option here. 5 to 6 month player here is ML5 recruitment every year. So far it has been. They've done a headhunt event every year for the past 3 years. One can only assume they'll do it again in December. It's in their best interest to do it. Over the holiday season is the time period where people's lives get chaotic. They're off from school, they're off from work, they're traveling, they're doing stuff with family, they're doing New Year celebrations, Christmas celebrations, whatever. Even if you're don't celebrate the holidays directly, you're still enjoying the time off from work and school, right? And nothing stops you from logging into a game more than having your IRL schedule screwed up, having other things that are taking your interests away, and something that reminds you to go, oh yeah, I need to press the button, log in, and do this thing, keep my head going. Even if it's just 5 minutes a day, it keeps you pushing that button and logging the game every single day so you don't break the habit. You go 2 weeks without logging into Epic 7, you're infinitely more likely to never log into Epic 7 again. 2 weeks to break a habit is kind of the rule of thumb, right? That's kind of like if you can stop smoking for 2 weeks, it starts to get easier. If you can stop playing gacha games for 2 weeks, it starts getting easier. So they don't want you to break the habit. So it's in their best interest to keep you logging in. And that's why they do the headhunt event every year. And that's why it's always over top of that chaotic time. Wait, what? A headhunt's coming? Nah, we were talking about... Somebody asked if they were going to do it at the end of the year. And we said, yeah, they do it every year. And they always do it around Christmas. Anyway, that's my take on that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. As far as should you buy those packs, I think if you're under a year, the gear pack is probably worth it to you. I think if you're over a year, you probably have better gear laying around, and maybe you don't, but that's up to you. Look at the gear and decide if it makes your account better. And as for the other packs, they're decent value. They're the typical $50 and $100 packs. Compared to other packs, those are amongst some of the better ones, but it's a lot of money for a tap-tap waifu game, and you got to decide if that's worth it to you. I'll never give people shit for spending on this game, as long as they're spending in their means. You want to go out to the bar and drink with your buddies and spend $100 buying pitchers of beer, you'll walk away with good memories and you had some fun doing it. That's no different than spending on this game. As long as you have good memories, you had fun doing it. Both of them, you wind up with no assets at the end of the day. Nothing to show for it, but you had some fun. As long as you got disposable income, what are you doing with it if you're not having fun? So,
like, good ass
you
take.
on that.
Yep.
I'm ready to whale. Let's get it.
All right. Hey,
Please
Sue, peek over in the CM server for me real quick. I don't want to mess up the cameras, but I got pinged in there. Is there anything important?
I'm looking to see where you got pinged.
Oh, damn. Y'all are chatting. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. The last time you checked it, there was something from Big A, but we'll see what else. So.
No, you don't have to check it right away, but you can check it after.
Yeah, you can check it after.
Just want to make sure there's nothing critical or something we should be talking about.
No.
All right, guys. Well, I think we've just about covered everything. I really appreciate both of you being on, Sue. You're always my wingman for this, and Vic, thank you for taking time out. You guys want to plug your channels or talk about any kind of tournaments or excitement you got going on? Sue, you go tell people about how you're going to cosplay as a snake and have Fene as your background art?
Nope, that's not happening.
I think it's happening, guys.
Go ahead, Pat.
Okay. Yeah, so you can find me for Abyss content, my terrible takes apparently on new characters and other content like that, balance adjustments over at youtube.com/@im_TSU or on Twitch at twitch.tv/im_TSU.
All right, well, Guild War updates coming. Y'all already know. Y'all know where to find me at Vic Chun, VIKCHUN on YouTube and everywhere. I am running a tournament next near the end of the month, so stay tuned for that. With, can I say who? Actually, I don't know if I can say who. Okay, I'll just hold on with that. Also, if you want to see Emperor level gameplay in RTA, yeah, come watch my channel. And yeah, thanks for having me, T-Dub and Pat. And,
yeah. Well, thank you for being here, brother, man. Get me that tournament info. I'll promote it as best I can on my channels and try to drive some people to it. Guild or RTA tourney, I assume, right? Any special theme or?
Can't say yet. We'll hit you up.
Okay.
We'll let you know.
Yeah. Let me know. All right, guys. The rest of you, thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys after maintenance. We're gonna pull for Tori. Hopefully she doesn't dodge us. I'll catch you guys later. Oh, you know what? Let's raid somebody. We should raid somebody. Who's surely somebody's streaming right now. Let's see.
Shirley.
Shirley.
Show me E7 dead. Show me E7 dead. Show me E7 dead. Ah, GG.
Is there really nobody in the channel? Yeah, there is. There's nobody streaming it.
Let's see. Who we got? There's gotta be somebody, right? No. Dedge category. Oh, you got Jenna.
Let's see.
You got Jenna's playing Woo-Wah. I don't see anybody else that I know.
All right, well, I'm gonna kick and have dinner with my fiance. So have a good night, guys.
You take care, Vic. Thank you for being here, buddy. Everybody. Everybody go say
He's
hi.
replaced with this TristenWulf picture.
Yeah, everybody go say hi to Drac. He's
Oh, Draxon.
yeah. Drac's a super freaking cool guy. Let's all go say hi to Drac.
You could
Wish
also
him
ask him your abyss. You could ask him your abyss questions also. He's
Yeah.
also an abyss god.
Super hot redhead. You guys are going to enjoy Drac. Make sure you wish him a happy 45th birthday. He's a little shy about it, but make sure you let him know.
Oh, he's playing Osu. That's
Yeah.
that good stuff. You guys,
All right,
will,
guys.
you guys
I will catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for being here, everybody. Peace.
All right. See you, everyone.